You're now tuned into Gutta And
There's
Saved.
a new movement that seems to be having the liberal, man-hating, feminist women of all colors here in America in a chokehold. You know, the 4B movement is trending on social media, in particular TikTok, and is now gaining traction, amongst black women, who is now taking the stand of decentering black men.
The 4B movement.
The 4B movement.
The 4B movement.
The 4B movement.
Shout out to the 4B movement.
Be alone.
In your movement.
Now, here's the backstory on this whole 4B movement. Women in, Korea took a vow not to have sex with men, not to have children with men, not to date men, not to marry their men because of, some issues that they having over there in Korea. Korea, my bad, y'all. Now, the terms for all that stuff starts with B. Now, that's how they came up with the 4B movement. Now, I'm not going to begin to try to pronounce these words, but I'm going to put them right here. Y'all can see them right there. I'm not going to try to pronounce them. Y'all can go do your own research and try to pronounce that stuff. Now, the movement has found its way over here to U.S. soil. And now it's breaking out like the bubonic plague. These American liberal women they going crazy over it. Now, here's what's funny. If you scroll through TikTok, right, you're going to notice there's particular types of women that's perpetuating this. And I can tell you right now, majority of the women that is spreading this is, for one, they are liberal, feminist, democratic women, and they are women of a particular rainbow coalition, if y'all catch my drift. So they try to tell women to, decenter men. Well, I ain't gonna say trying. They are telling women to decenter men and focus on women. It's crazy. I find it amazing that heterosexual women is listening to women of a certain rainbow coalition tell them that they need to decenter men. Of course they gonna tell y'all that. They want y'all for themselves. They don't even date men. Anyway, there is countless of American feminists spreading misinformation on this movement. Go on TikTok, you're going to see. In fact, the misinformation that these people were spreading caught the attention of Korea women who took to social media to correct these American women about the movement. And, like these liberals always do. Y'all know how they act. They start getting offended and they don't care about the actual the Korean women. They don't care what they have to say about the actual movement. The women that live over there in Korea, they don't care what they have to say. The American liberal women over here, they hijack those women over their whole movement and twisted the whole narrative to try to fit their narrative over here.
I am a Korean woman currently living in Korea, and I have so much to say about this topic. So most of the 4B movement videos that I've seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like I said, I live in Seoul. What I think is happening is the Western media likes to really pick up on these sensationalist, provocative topics and then makes it into an article, and then everyone on TikTok follows suit and makes videos about it. But let me tell you, I am 29, going to turn 30 this year, and literally all the conversations that I have with my friends around my age is about, oh my God, we're looking to get married, we need to find good partners, and we need to do this before it gets too late or we're just like aged out of the marriage market, And I just made a YouTube video about this, Korea's population crisis, why nobody's getting married or having babies. The 4B movement in Korea is a very, very small fraction of the whole Korean population in general. It's just the Western media likes to highlight that part and make it seem like it's the biggest issue in Korea, which it really is not. I can promise you that. Don't believe all those sensational articles written online all the time. Most people in Korea still like the other sex, we want to date, we want to find love, we want to get married. Those are like the big majority. And it's only the small group of extreme radical misandrists and extreme radical misogynists. They just seem like the loudest because the most attention goes to them.
Now, y'all heard what she said, right? Y'all heard what she said right there, right? The 4B movement is a small number of radical, misogynistic, misandrous folk who's fighting against each other. They're trying to make a political statement amongst each other. A small group. And the reason why is getting too much attention because it makes for a good story. Here's the thing, right? And this is why I say the American feminists, the liberal women over here, listen, they don't want equality. They want supremacy, even at the cost of perpetuating lies and misinformation. They do that to further their cause because they have to seem oppressed. They have to, woe is me. They have to cry, use their tears, weaponize their tears, and use other people's struggles and mix it with false information to further their cause. These feminists are going to the extremes to perpetuate a lie to the point of bullying other creators on social media. And these creators actually live in Korea.
Korean women are currently having to defend me in my last video's comment section because I'm getting cancelled! Because I made a video talking about how the 4B movement is not as big as it's being made out on the internet, specifically TikTok. Now my comment section is full of people like this person, which is crazy coming from a creator who has thousands of followers, calling me names and bullying me. At least switch to your alt, because you look insane. In my original video, I didn't actually clarify my stance on the issue. I just made it very neutral and informative. Since the girlies want to call me a pick-me, want to call me a gender traitor, want to call me names and bully me, I will tell you how I feel about the issue. The backbone of any theory, of any science, is critique. This includes feminism. I am a feminist. Just because I critique a certain part of feminism, or debunk it as some people want to say, does not say anything about me or if I'm a pick-me or not. And to the people who are like, oh, you're giving red pill men the ammo. Imagine blaming a woman for what men are going to do and say. What if I came and said, you gave them the ammo for being wrong and uninformed? See how that doesn't work? I think it's insane that Korean people / women are in my comment section saying, hey guys, she's right. We don't do that here on a large scale. I've in fact never heard of the 4B movement. It's not super widespread. I hate to make this about nationality, but Americans being like, no, you guys don't talk about it because it's too taboo. You guys are just too scared to talk about it. Meanwhile, Koreans are telling you guys, this does not happen. This is most likely the last time I ever speak about this because, to be honest, I don't appreciate being bullied online for spreading information about misinformation. I don't appreciate the comments speaking over Korean people, telling them how their country is being run and what's happening in the country from people who've never even stepped foot in the country. I don't appreciate the men. Oh my god, don't get me started on the men in the comments saying that this is some conspiracy theory started by feminists. I think everyone is wrong in this situation besides the actual people, aka the Koreans, being like, hey, is this play about us?
Now, then she said, the reason why they aren't having kids and the birth rate is so extremely low, it's because it's too expensive to live in Korea right now. It's too expensive to raise kids right now. So it's only right that, they limit themselves to having one kid until they get their paper up. Check this clip out.
So no, the birth rate in Korea is not low because of the 4B movement, a movement which started around 2016/2019. It's because it's just too expensive. People are still dating, people are still getting married at a lower rate, but again, it's because it's too expensive. Speak to any Korean person and they will say, I want to get married. I maybe want to have kids if I can afford it. No normal everyday Korean person is telling you, yes, I'm practicing the 4B movement.
See, here's the thing about these liberal women here in America, these radical feminists. They have to perpetuate lies because they don't have a leg to stand on. You know, the liberal feminists here in America have to hijack everybody else's cause in the name of women's rights. And then to be honest, if you want to be technical, they have the most privilege. If you ask me, the liberal women here in America have the most privilege. Y'all know that old saying that says power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. These liberal American women won't stop till they have total control and power over America and the quote unquote patriarch that they trying to fight. They have power. And now they weaponizing their tears, they weaponizing other people's struggle to gain more power in the name of, you know, pretty much sympathy, so they could perpetuate women's rights and all that stuff. And then they try to use like, oh, they taking away our rights by the Roe v. Wade and the medical stuff. All they use all that stuff. Which, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, they aren't issues with, you know, with women. I'm not going to say it ain't, because it is an issue. I don't think no man should be policing a woman's body. That's just my honest opinion. But they're using that to perpetuate a whole lot of other stuff is actually dangerous to America as a whole. See, it's hard to take a lot of these liberals serious, is in my honest opinion. It's hard to take a lot of them serious. They act like, you know, the internet won't internet. Like people won't fact check a lot of stuff that they say. Like people won't go behind them and say, okay, let's go do some real research. As if, you know, people that's in particular situations won't start speaking up and say, hey man, this ain't what it is. Or that ain't what it ain't. Yeah, I mean, they lying. They hijacking our movement. Just like the liberals hijacked the Black Lives Matter movement. They hijack the civil rights movement. These liberals get into a lot of spaces and they start hijacking our movement, just like the Rainbow Coalition hijacked everything black. When they start talking about the disproportionate, you know, laws that's against minority people, these liberals infuse themselves in this. You know, I ain't even gonna go down. I ain't even gonna go there, y'all. Here's the thing. People who's living in Korea, you know, they came behind these liberal women. You can find all the videos on TikTok, YouTube, and all the rest. They came behind these liberal women and pretty much, you know, fact checked them and pretty much said that they were spreading false information and incorrect information to further their causes of you know, perpetuating the supremacy of women. You know, they came behind them and said the whole situation in Korea right now is not how the West media is perpetuating it. You know what I mean? And now the feminists here in America is calling them all type of names and bullying them on the internet, pretty much telling them to shut up and all this stuff. Y'all hate women. And it's funny that it's women who's actually fact checking them and telling them that they are lying. It's women who's fact checking them who actually live in Korea that's telling them, yo, they telling lies. Y'all need to stop listening to those liberals over here in the West media. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised anymore by the tactics of a lot of these liberals here in America, because it's their MO. It's their MO. This is what they do all the time. The moment they get exposed, they start calling people homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, haters of women, and don't want to see women progress, and all the other terms that they use. They try to demonize everybody else to perpetuate their nonsense, even at the cost of a lie. That's why I say they don't want equality. They want supremacy. But that's all I got today, y'all, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. Hop down in the comment section. Make sure to tell a friend who will tell a friend who will tell a next to kin. Gutta and Saved is back at it again, meaning share this out. Do something for Gutta and Saved podcast today. Make sure you go check out our merch in our merch store and all the rest. And hey, man, stay tuned for these last announcements.
Gasmerch.com. Vintage Saint Collection. Gutta and Saved Abstract Collection. Shop now at gasmerch.com.
The greatest spitting, I tell them I'm Christ-like. They envision modern Christian. Tell them I'm nothing like, check conditions of how I'm living. I preach Christ, we ain't fake delivering. Listen, Candyman, soon as they. It's not about how much Bible chapter and verse you know. It's about how much Bible you willing to obey.